Shout out to everybody. We back. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody that's been checking in, that's been supporting the channel. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So there's been a couple of things going on. One of the things that is happening, that they're saying that Elon Musk is going to be having, to be able to go into the Treasury and see what is going on with the payments that's going out from the Treasury. Some people are upset about it. And they're saying, oh, these are too many powers. Like, why are they allowing Elon Musk to have so much, latitude to do something like that? I don't know, man. We're going to look into that. Shout out to Elon Musk. Shout out to Donald Trump. I do want to say that. We're going to read some dissenting opinions. Or let's just say some of the things that the left is saying about this. And then we're going to kind of get into this in a minute. What's up, y'all? All right, so it says, with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, gaining control of the Treasury Department payment system, consumer advocates and Democratic lawmakers are raising alarms about the group's access to federal government's financial spigot, right? So Elon Musk, like somebody that Elon Musk is friends with, you know what I mean? I guess he's like writing, allegedly, like new codes for the payment systems. And the Treasury Department has people on edge, and they're saying because that is happening, they believe Elon Musk is going to be getting a little bit too much access. But we're going to listen. We're going to kind of look at this and then see what some other news sources are saying. But yeah, let's read it again. Say Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency, which is DOGE. That's going to be Vivek and Elon Musk. It says gaining control of the Treasury Department's payment system. Consumer advocates and Democratic lawmakers are raising alarms about the group's access to federal government's financial spigot, as well as sensitive data such as the social security numbers of most taxpayers. Right. It says DOGE, a Trump administration task force assigned to find ways to reduce federal spending, now has access to a Treasury unit called the Bureau of the Fiscal Service, which disperses trillions in payments each year, including Social Security checks and federal salaries, according to the Associated Press. It says Musk's access to the payment system is raising concerns as it comes just days after the White House ordered a broad freeze on federal grants and loans, causing confusion within the federal assistance program at nonprofits and among Americans receiving government aid. The same day, state Medicaid programs said they were locked out of the Department of Health and Human Services system used to track and disperse money. What are the concerns? While the White House later rescinded the memo and a judge halted the freeze, DOGE control of the Treasury payment system raises questions about the Trump administration's ability to halt the flow of federal funds for programs including Medicare and Social Security. It's also causing concerns about DOGE's access to personal and financial information of most taxpayers. There's no community of Americans that this system does not touch. And so I think the concern is the access to this system, including personal identifiable information, has been ceded to the president's billionaire friends for reasons that are past understanding. Donald K. Sherman, executive director and chief counsel of the watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, told CBS Money Watch, right? And then it says, I like to read the left to see what they're saying before we kind of get into what the right is saying. It says there are quite real risks. The DOGE could potentially undermine the system and threaten millions of Americans from getting payments that they are due, he added. Now, one thing I do want to say, when the White House press secretary, she was asked about, the government freeze and things like that, and people were trying to allude that, people who were getting Social Security, different payments and, all of those types of aid, food stamps and all of that, like they were spreading rumors that those people were not going to be able to get payouts. Well, the White House press secretary, she ended up talking about it, and she said that's actually not true. Those system, that system is not being tampered with. You know what I mean? Payments are still going to go out. And so that rumor was cleared up really quick, So I do want to say that before we continue to read some of this Democratic propaganda. It said Musk's access to the Treasury payment system has sparked concern from Democratic lawmakers, of course, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Ron Wyden. Elizabeth Warren, didn't she say she was Pocahontas? Where's she trying to get grants? Shout out to everybody hitting the like button. I see y'all. Deontay Kennedy is a member in here. Respect VA. Shout out to you. Cassandra Levy. Shout out to you. I'm just a vet. I see you in here. David Scoot. I see you in here. Eddie Johnson. All of y'all. Thug Life. You know what I'm saying? But wasn't she like getting grants, capping about her heritage? And that's why she was had plenty of time under scrutiny from Americans, that Elizabeth Warren. You know what I mean? But it says Elizabeth Warren and Ron Wyden, while a lawsuit was filed on Monday alleging unlawful, ongoing, systemic, and continuous disclosure of personal financial information to Musk and DOGE. The lawsuit filed by two Union and the Alliance for Retired Americans names U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and the Treasury as defendants. Control of the system could allow the Trump administration to unilaterally and illegally cut off payments from millions of Americans, putting at risk the financial security of families and businesses based on political favoritism or the whims of Mr. Musk and those on his team who have worked their way inside, said Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat from Massachusetts. She is like starting to become very, very very annoying to me, right? Y'all remember like when they were doing a confirmation for, I can't really say his name. Let's say the person that's, because he's kind of, you say his name, your video don't really do nothing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. RF, you know what I mean? Say that. She wanted to come out and say a whole bunch of things against him. And she really doesn't like that he wants to reform the FDA. Like, she cannot stand that. She ended up coming out and saying, what did she say? She was just like, oh, well, RFK is like just trying to make it to where vaccine companies can be held liable and they can be sued and he can just get money from suing people and this can hurt the vaccine manufacturing companies. And it's like, who are you working for, Elizabeth Warren? RFK is trying to bring you know what I'm saying? Like to make sure things is good. You know what I mean? Like the FDA is working for us and you got all of these different things to say about him negative. And it seems like the only thing you worried about or concerned about is the vaccination companies. So it's like she always comes out and just has a dissenting Democratic opinion to me. You know what I mean? And even if it doesn't make sense, I understand why people would look at this and be like, okay, well, they've got a little bit too much ability to go ahead and look at what's going on with the payments and all that. But they're going to try to start the propaganda. Well, they're going to cut off payments and they're going to stop this and they're going to stop. They're not going to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what's going on with Social Security and all of that. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like that's what they're doing. They're going through and they're finding out the bloat, what is not necessary, right? And I'm saying that to say this. Y'all remember Ukraine, what's his name, Zelensky? Came out and said that Ukraine got $177 billion from America, right? But they only received $77 billion of it. So where's the other $100 billion? This is the problem. You know what I mean? And so when you look at the Treasury officers that have to sign off on all of these dispersed payments, right? It's alleged, right, that they are going ahead and paying out payments to terrorist organizations. I'm just saying what it is. We go get to the Fox News video and they talking about all this, right? To them type of organizations are getting payments. It's a lot of things, you know what I mean? A lot of fraud maybe going on that need to be stopped. Musk has already saved the United States a lot of money. You know what I mean? So why do people not want him to go in there to see what is being overspent and try to put a cap on it? One of the things that we always say, right? When we're looking at these politicians, oh, they're not working for us. They're not working for the American people. They're just spending our money like crazy. Hit the like button. They spending our money like crazy. They won't do what we want them to do, right? We always say that. We get to a situation where we get a president that's actually fulfilling all of his campaign promises. He allows the Department of Government Efficiency, he okays it, right? They acting like this is just some unilateral, Elon Musk, this is his private company. He's just doing all of this privately and all of that. Like he was approved by our president to do this. Y'all keep saying y'all want like, oh, this tax cut for the working class. And you know what I mean? People want no taxes on overtime and no taxes on tips and all. Well, they got to figure out ways to cut down the bloat in the American government so that they can go to the table, right? And then present a package to Congress like, okay, we need to cut American taxpayers, you know what I mean, taxes by X, Y, and Z. And this is how much money we were able to save from the government that wasn't necessary. So us cutting the taxes of some Americans for overtime or whatever it is wouldn't really affect the income of what's going on with America. You know what I mean? And it's not going to set us back and all. Like they have to come with a pack. He can't just go to Congress, right? Even though he's got a trifecta, he can't just go to Congress right now and just be like, okay, well, let's do an income tax cut. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut taxes on overtime right now. He can't just do that. You know what I mean? He's got to show that he has done something significant. One, you know, I would think to like balance the budget, right? And then like to make sure there's not any extra expenditures going out to where we losing a lot of money. Like the Democrats was sending all of our money to like different countries and all that. You know what I'm saying? He got to like put a hamper on that. Do y'all want tax breaks or not? They're trying to figure out a way to save money. Right? Obviously, all of these politicians for all of these years, what have they done? Have they saved us money? I'm just asking. Have they? It's always us complaining. They don't save us money. So Trump gets somebody in there that can figure out how to save America's money, and y'all are whining. Right? How many people are hoping that they can, you know what I mean? If they live to the age to where they can retire, there's a little bit of something there for you. How are you going to have any Social Security if they don't find out how to cut all this bloat that's going on? Elon Musk has been very, very effective at his job so far. Oh, you don't believe me? Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all something. Stop trying to sell me on stuff, X. That's why I don't like you, Elon Musk, for that. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I rock with you. Let me show y'all something. If I can pull it up.
Waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years. These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a...
What did she just say? This is like the stuff that Elon Musk is finding. This is how much money we just waste and throw away and give to other countries and all of this. This is what y'all been complaining about. This is what Elon Musk is finding. Now they're all scrambling and upset. Oh, they're actually doing, we got a president that's actually presidenting. It's not a word, thug life. I made it up. We got a president that is being a president. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now they're mad. Respect VA, they mad. Hit the like button, Thug Life. Let me show y'all.
Look at the waste and abuse that has run through USA.
You hear what the White House press secretary said? Look at the waste and abuse. Listen to what she's saying.
Over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on.
First of all, before we get into this, she said over the past several years. Let's listen.
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces.
$1.5 billion to advance DEI in Serbia workforces. How are we mad at at Elon Musk, y'all. Can y'all tell me, like, how can we be mad at this dude?
In Serbia's workplaces, stands DEI and Serbia's organization has been spending money on $1.5 million to
$1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia workforces. Crazy.
advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces. $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland.
$70,000 for a musical in Ireland. Are y'all hearing this? This is what our government is spending money on. And we got all this homelessness in America. We got all this going on, but they will send $70,000 so somebody can have a musical in another country. Respect, VA. What is this? That is crazy. Let's see what else she's saying.
$47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia.
$47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. This is your tax dollars. Like, I don't be wanting to pay taxes. You got to do it, right? This is our tax money that they are using this stuff for, right? Shout out to all them groups and all that. I ain't got no problem with all them groups. But like your tax money being spent to that for an opera. I know you a king, right? That's your name. He said it's crazy. This is insane. Shout out to MMA Magazine. Appreciate you. Couldn't got 100,000 subscribers without you. I'm gonna keep saying it. Shout out to her. She's the moderator in the chat. But this is like insane. Insanity. All that money for an opera. Y'all mad at Elon Musk for finding all this stuff? Just imagine what he about to find in the Treasury Department. What y'all doing with the American people's money? See, this is the problem. Like when y'all see them big bills, a lot of people see what they say on the surface of what they want to do. Oh, we want to get this passed for the people. But when you see those big, thick packets, it's a lot of bloat. It's a lot of pork, right? It's a lot of this. And all this just gets passed and you know, they don't have time to read all of that. I'm sure if they would have read that and seen like, let's spend $70,000 in taxpayer money on an opera in another country, I don't think Americans would really like that. I don't think we would. See what else she gonna say.
$32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
Tony, bro! No, bro! All our money is going everywhere! $32,000 for a trans comic book in Peru? I don't care what kind of comic book it is. Why are we paying $32,000 for a comic book in Peru? It's a comic book.
I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
I love it!
Big news. Ukraine's President Zelensky did an interview today talking about the billions of taxpayer dollars that the United States has given to Ukraine. But he says that they never received $100 billion of it.
Listen to what she says. The American government is supposed to give Ukraine $177 billion. Right? Zelensky did an interview saying he only received $77 billion of it. First of all, Zelensky, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't rock with you. Right? What you mean only 77 billion? That's my tax money you getting. We only got 77 billion from America. First of all, what you whining for? You got 77 billion. But where is the other $100 billion? If we keeping it all the way a buck, where did that money go? Y'all don't want Elon Musk to figure out this? Me Say So said, I would like to pretend the last 4 years didn't happen. This is what these Tony, bro, this is what your friends is doing. The Democrats. Where'd that money go? Tony Bro's like going crazy on Twitter, complaining. Hold on, let me plug my stuff up. We gonna run this a couple hours. Hold on real quick. It's crazy. Insanity. We gonna run this for some hours. That's what we gonna do. We gonna talk about all this. 'Cause I'm not playing. Where is that money at? I'm not saying the words embezzlement. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that. Did I say that? I ain't say nothing like that. I'm just wondering, where did that money go? Thug life.
He says that the United States and Congress approved $177 billion, taxpayer dollars, to give to Ukraine for various programs, social reasons, business reasons, and fighting Russia. But yet they only received $77 billion. And that
these people can just get billions of our money. Let you or me fall on hard times. I'll be hustling, trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, make sure I can stay afloat if an emergency happens or something. I'll be hustling, right? Because I don't want to be under the mercy of anybody. But anything can happen in the world, right? Something can happen. You get in a car accident, can't work. Anything can happen, right? If you fall on hard times and you really need help, what you think the government gonna do? Zelensky falls on some hard times. He just hit up Joe Biden. I need some of that money. All right. You want me to wire it? When you want it? Monday? Tuesday? I ain't sending you $50. I'm going to send you $177 billion. But you're only going to get $77 billion of it. Just be quiet while I'm in office. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm just saying he can. Tony, bro, where is the $100 billion?
Mysteriously, $100 billion is missing. He said, quote, I don't know where all this money is. And this is obviously concerning for many reasons. Who has this money? And why is Zelensky bringing this up now? If you were expecting $100 billion and you didn't get it, why didn't you say anything in the past? So my question to you is, where do you think this money is? As always, I want to hear down below.
They're mad at Elon Musk for trying to figure out where this money at. Mark Topping said Trump gave me $4,000 back for taxes 1 year. He's my homie. And then Mark goes ahead and said, I got 900 from Biden. That MF. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Hey, Christian Medwed trolling right now. He said that money in my offshore accounts. But they mad at Elon Musk right now. That's crazy.
Negotiate the New Deal, but that's not what happened.
Yeah. Kevin, Donald Trump ran on lowering costs for food and energy and stuff like that. Right now, the conventional wisdom is if they go into effect.
Before we get into all of this, Donald Trump running on lowering costs and all. Look, Thug Life, shout out to Trump. Have y'all ever seen a president try to save America? I've never seen this before, bro. This is crazy. He trying to get RFK in there. He got Tulsi Gabbard about to be the head of the intelligence. He got her going up in there. Elon Musk and Vivek, Department of Government Efficiency. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Countries ain't playing ball. He hitting them with tariffs. I don't know. Super chats is open. Stop acting like a Democrat. Hit them super chats.
25%.
Last video we did, shout out to everybody that be watching politics. Last video we did 190,000. I appreciate everybody that's been double tapping the screen, hitting the hearts, emojis. I see somebody hitting the hearts right now, the confetti, all of that. We did that because y'all was pushing the video, so I appreciate all of y'all for that. And I talked to a lot of y'all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't even hit the super chat that episode or whatever. I still talk to everybody. You know what I mean? So shout outs. I appreciate y'all.
Canada.
But stop acting like a Democrat.
And Mexico, Americans are going to get hurt a little bit.
I look at this at the beginning of a negotiation, and I've always said to everybody on both sides, because I'm kind of in a unique situation. You know, I'm a Canadian, but my entire family's American, so and I invest on both sides of the border. In chaos, there's opportunity. The biggest thing going on here is a negotiation. We know it's about fentanyl right now. You had Doug Burgum on just moments ago saying exactly that. But the real opportunity comes out of the chaos, an economic union. I think this is the beginning.
Hey, I'm on my magazine. Can you get that person out?
Beginning of that narrative. I will note that energy is only at 10%. And I think the reason that's the case, or at least part of it, is that Danielle Smith, the premier of Alberta, took the time to go meet Trump in Mar-a-Lago a few weeks ago and plead her case about the importance of the relationship on energy of the U.S. And here she is getting a benefit from it at 10% opposed to 25%. And, you know, that's good. Right. Burgum's now the energy czar. He understands the importance of Canada. You got to remember, Alberta has more energy than the entire United States. Right. That's where there's opportunity. That's where the economic union makes sense to investors.
Speaking of opportunity, Elon Musk and the DOGE team are looking at how much money the federal government spends, and he posted this on X. The DOGE team discovered, among other things, that the payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups. They literally...
Did y'all hear that? The Treasury officers were just approving payments. Always approve these payments. Like, yo, what in the world is going on, bro?
Elon Musk and the DOGE team are looking at how much money the federal government spends, and he posted this on X. The DOGE team discovered, among other things, that the payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups. They literally never denied a payment in their entire careers, not even once.
Did y'all hear that? Do we want Washington cleaned up, or do we want Washington cleaned up? I say let Elon Musk, let him work. Let him figure out how to fix this.
What do you make of Elon Musk going through Washington right now with a Hoover?
I'm okay with it. And I think the American people are okay with it. Everybody knows the dirty little secret about government. It drips with fat. No one's ever done an exercise like this. I thought he'd get a lot more pushback from Congress, and he's not. He's going in there with a spatula, and he's scraping out billions of dollars, and people are okay with it. After all, it's taxpayers' money. Right. Why not do this? If you sit around your kitchen table, you got to have a budget every year. Right. Why can't we apply the same kind of philosophy to government? And that's why he's getting...
Imagine this, right? Let's just say Elon Musk goes ahead, and what he's doing, he's already saving us like mad money. Let's just say he goes in there and gets rid of all of this unnecessary operas in other countries, paying $37,000 to another country to make a comic book, $32,000 for another country to have a condoms, another, like, what if he gets rid of all of that, right? And then the government has a balanced budget. And over the years, that deficit starts coming down. This dude may go out, Elon Musk being one of the greatest Americans ever in history. I know he from South Africa, thug life, I know, but he American now. He with us. We claim him. If he can do something like that, what would happen to the value of the dollar? If America was like operating with, I mean, I know this like a whole different... But just imagine if we a country running that strong, not running these continuous insane deficits. Smoke and Fire said, let them cook. I'm rocking with you, Smoke and Fire. And I agree with this guy. Like, yay, I'm not mad. Americans should not be mad at this at all. Let's see what they saying in the comment section. Let's seize funds from all the politicians that became multimillionaires while they were in office from insider trading. And you remember that Joe Biden, right, when he was throwing shots at Nancy Pelosi? Because, you know, Nancy Pelosi said that Joe Biden should have been, like, stepped out of the race against Trump. So he never, like, really respected her after that. So he said that Nancy Pelosi, people like her, do not, you know, should not be able to invest in the stock market. But it ain't just Nancy Pelosi. A lot of y'all, it's insider. Why is it that see, this is why they say that our country is full of oligarchs, right? This is why they say this, because we've got rules and laws that are written that have to be abide by, right? Or you go to jail, or you get a felony, or whatever, right? But then they can like do whatever they want to do. They can have all the insider trading and all of that, and a lot of suspicion. They never really get indicted. They never, you see what I'm saying? What is the government going to indict each other? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that nothing ever happens. Then all of a sudden they go from like, even like Supreme Court justices, I notice, right? Like Ginsburg and all of them Democrats, like they be like, you look at their salary, then they'd be like a Supreme Court justice for like 4 years, right? And then you look and see how much they're worth, and it's like $6 million. You be like, what? How much this person getting for a speech? This ain't adding up. We ask too many questions. Next thing you know, they about to hear something on taking our rights away again. Y'all Americans better stop. You know what I'm saying? But like, have y'all ever thought about that? These Supreme Court justices, like all of this crazy money they be getting, like after like 6 years, you'd be like, I don't know where it's coming from, but I want to know. Is it, are they getting the right trading picks? I don't know what it is. Are they getting like $2 million to speak at colleges? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But the rules are the rules. You know what I mean? For certain people, it's like the pawns. You know? But you got Trump, which they say, he's part of the oligarchs. It looks like he's working for the common man. I like that. I feel like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what my president doing? When Biden was president, I'm like, how Biden screwing us over? It's a different energy right now, and y'all mad. Let's seize the funds from all, like, you know what I mean? Interesting comment. Somebody said, if anyone is shocked by the DOGE findings, you've been living under a rock. Exactly. Let's see what they're saying. Yeah, agreed, 100%. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm rocking with it. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody should be against this.
A lot of latitude and a lot of slack, even though he's a controversial guy. But look at the executional skills he has.
Sure.
There's nobody like him. Let him do his thing.
Mr. Wonderful, you are in Tokyo making a movie.
So shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to check and see what Piers Morgan, the homie, is doing. I don't know Piers Morgan, but we rock with him. So it looks like it says he's talking about Zelensky, I guess, wanting some nukes. It says, we want nukes plus Tucker Carlson, stop licking Putin's. Yo, sometimes he be wild.
Its importance is in the court of public opinion. Prominent US conservatives have made President Zelensky the face of what they categorize as a drain on American prosperity and a harbinger of nuclear war. Well, to answer that criticism and to talk about...
Hey, Amama Magazine and Froggy Megzy, they controlled the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know. I'm letting them rock. If they find something that they don't like and they feel like removing it, that's on them. You know what I'm saying?
The state of the war and his country. President Zelensky joins me now. President Zelensky, great to see you again.
Дуже радий бачити. Дуже дякую, Пір, за цю можливість.
Hey, Luziday said, is he ever going to read the chat? Why don't you super chat? Maybe you'll get something read.
Very happy to see you, Piers. Thank you for having this opportunity. Good afternoon.
The last time I spoke to you, President Zelensky, was 4 months after the war started. You were...
Yo, an interview with Zelensky? This is crazy. And Piers Morgan don't be playing, so I'm interested to see this.
Pretty tired then. You were working
and let me say this.
Let
me say this. And this is no disrespect. I understand sometimes I like going people's chats and troll, like, why are you responding to comments? Sometimes I respond to like every comment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get through some stuff. And the last like political blog I did 190,000 views talking to people for free. Hit a super chat. If you want people to talk to you, like I'm literally doing you a favor, like mentioning you.
Day out, week in, week out. We're now nearly 3 years into this war. Just before we get into the substantive points of the war, how are you personally? I mean, you must be completely exhausted.
Ні, Путін не дочекається, що...
No, Putin will not see me fully exhausted. I, as each and everybody in Ukraine, are just as back then, 4 months after the start of the invasion. We are a bit tired, but there is enough.
Christian Medwin is funny. He said, how can I super chat on my Walmart greeting salary? And and another thing, like if I see you in here a lot, like I just read your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even if you troll.
Energy to fight for our existence and our life. There is no other way. So I feel like
another thing, if I see people like hitting the hearts, you know what I mean? Like all of that, the confetti, that's another way of supporting the channel. People just want stuff for free. Like
there will definitely be enough of our resources for a just and lasting peace in Ukraine for everybody.
Where would you say we are now with the war, President Zelensky? What is the current state of the...
Dude, Zelensky is getting all of our money, man. This is something just difficult to... Johnny Harris said, Piperboy rebuttaling.
This war, do you think?
Непроста ситуація.
The situation is difficult. It's understandable. Although since the first day of the invasion.
Sean Mayberry is a member on the channel. He supports the channel. I read it whenever he pop up. I'm reading it. Said, become a member. Every member buys another Temu hoodie. Sean Mayberry, that's what it is. And for those that don't know, it's a lot of new people in here. I see. I rocks the Temu.
It never has been simple. We are in the better situation than we were at the beginning of the war, but we are in difficult stance because we are fighting not only against Putin, but we are also fighting for the support of our allies, for the support to us, and I'm glad that we did not lose this support, and we are in the position when we are fighting with a big wave of Russia's disinformation against Ukraine, a big and probably the most severe since the start of the full-scale war. We are fighting for the robust alliance of our
All of you guys realize there's been like hundreds of thousands of people like losing their life in this war. Like, this needs to come to an end. You know what I mean? So, yo, you know what would make this come to an end? I think personally, because you know Trump has got a really good relationship with Vladimir Putin. If he could just talk to Putin, just be like, yo, we'll stop sending Ukraine money, and you just like call off your troops. Enough people have lost their lives. Let's just end this. Like, whoever's got a battery and Zelensky's back in the government, we not going, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and you worked together before. We was good. My last 4 years in administration, you ain't had no problems from us. We ain't had no problems from you. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go back to that. This is unnecessary. It's going to end up hurting your economy. You know what I mean? Stressing your people. You know what I mean? Family members are perishing and all of that. Like, we could just stop all of this. I mean, like, that was and you approach them with a business type situation. You know what I mean? Like, we should build more than destroy each other. Maybe Trump can come to the table with something. So we got 401 Blake with the 499. He said, I pop into the chat quite a bit, but do not really chat much. You said you have based takes though, and you do important work. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, bro.
In Europe, because
thanks for supporting the channel, man. Appreciate that.
Russia is destabilizing certain countries, even some of our neighbors. So we are fighting for this alliance, and we are also very much fighting for the alliance.
Froggy Megsy, you got me in trouble earlier. Thug Life. Froggy Megsy. Hey, y'all, Froggy Megsy got me in trouble. Froggy Megsy got me in trouble. Y'all want me to tell you how she got me in trouble? She got me in trouble. Thug Life. You did. Because Froggy Megsy had DM me on TikTok, right? And we were just talking on TikTok. Shock to her. That's my internet wife, Thug Life. Right? So we was talking, right? Tell me why Froggy Megsy, this girl went through my phone, Froggy Megsy. Froggy Megsy, I was asleep. I didn't know. Wait a minute. I woke up to all kind of messages. We need to talk. We need to talk. I'm like, what is this? Who is Froggy Megsy? I said, huh? Who is Froggy Megsy with your phone? Who is this? I'm like, what you mean? What you done? The screenshots start popping up. I'm like, no. I'm like, that's my moderator. That ain't your moderator. You in love. I'm like, she look kind of good. She look kind of good, but that's my moderator. Chill out. If I see you text Froggy Megsy again, if I see another text to Froggy Megsy, I was on edge all day yesterday. I'm like, no, my life is over. Froggy got me in trouble. Froggy got me in trouble. I accidentally sent Froggy Megsy a heart. Accidentally sent it. I looked at her TikTok and seen her again, and I'm like, go ahead and send this heart real quick. My girl's like, it's over. We break it up. I'm like, wait. So you don't want me to have a moderator in my chat? You don't want me to have a moderator? Y'all think I'm lying? Hold on, let me show y'all, bro. Froggy makes it getting me in trouble, bro. Hold on, it all kind of messages, all kind of messages. I was sleeping with one eye open, like, TikTok, first of all, how did she get in my phone? She won't tell me. She know a secret. She like, when you be live all the time, every time you live, you be smiling a little bit too much. Now I know what's going on. Sorry, y'all. Froggy Megsy starting drama. I was stressed out going live the other day. Wait, hold on. So I was like, yo, I went live. What was it? Yesterday or something like that? I went live, right? Hey, Froggy Megsy, what was you at? I did 190,000 views, right? So I was live and I was looking, I'm like, I did notice Froggy Megsy wasn't in the chat. So I'm like, did she roll up on Froggy Megsy? Where's Froggy Megsy at? I was about to message. Froggy Megsy like, where you at? Did she get you? Shout outs.
Alliance between the United States and Europe, and I believe that without this robustness, it will be difficult to prevail over Putin, or at least.
Yo, hey, Frank Thomas said Piper Williams pulled a papoose sleeping with the phone open. No, it wasn't even that. Look, bro, thug life. When you look, if you go to your girl's house, if your girl come over your house, whatever it is, bro, take your phone and hide it somewhere. Thug life. That's what you got to start doing. Have a dummy phone, right? I got 2 phones. And she knew, like, she like, why is he on this phone? He don't even, So I think she knew, like, yo, he talking to somebody. And she found my phone. She went on YouTube. She found out how to open it. And how I knew she did it, because when I went to sleep, it was like 8. I got 99 problems. Look, so how I know she did it, because I asked her, because when she said we needed to talk, I'm like, oh! I went downstairs and ran downstairs real fast, like the Flash. I'm like, oh my God, oh! What she mean? So I checked, like I got a table, right? Downstairs, it's like it's a dinner table and it's got drawers. And I put my phone in there. And I'm like, oh man, like I know she was, cause she came over, she was cleaning. I'm like, oh. Cause when I seen that we need to talk, no, where's my phone at? So I go and I turn my phone on. I'm like, all right, so my phone was off. I turned my phone on, right? So maybe she didn't go through it. So I opened the phone, right? And I'm like, when I went to sleep, it was 18%. When I opened the phone, it was 8%. So she was on that phone long enough, Froggy Megsy, for 10% of my battery to go down. It's over. So I hit her with the, did you go through my phone? She like, yeah. I'm like, no. And then I looked, right? Because I'm like, how can I gaslight her real quick? I'm trying to look up the definition of gaslight, and I'm like, I gotta try something. Right? And I'm like, you shouldn't have been through my phone. Like, why would you go through my phone? That is personal. Like, I don't go through your phone. That is ridiculous. Don't you know boundaries? Looking up gaslighting lines. I would never do that to you. I will never go through your private stuff. This is ridiculous. Well, who is Froggy Maxi? Listen to me. I would never go through your phone. Somebody said she looked at your search history and no. Like, what? Hey, TikTok be telling everything. Everything. It's because the reason why I switched to Android, because the iPhone be snitching. Because if you texting or whatever, we're going to get back to this in a minute. So if you texting or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like on your iPhone, if you do that, you know what I mean? Your iPad, the message is going to go to your iPad, and then the message is going to go to your iMac or your MacBook Pro, whatever. And you might accidentally leave something on. So the iPhone, I'm like, can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm 40 years old now, so I kind of slipped up a couple times. You know, you think you're about to, I'm on the laptop, I'm about to go to the kitchen and get something, and your mind forget your laptop is open. You go do something else. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, by the time you realize you left your laptop over, you freaking out. You try, no, iPhone, no more, Tim Cook. I will deal with the janky Android. But now TikTok snitching. Let's get back to this.
It's very difficult. So we are fighting for these things. At the same time, we have a plan of resilience. We call it so. So we do everything to preserve our resilience internally in our state. We are fighting.
We got 32,000 views on this video. Oh, people didn't heard everything.
For increasing our cybersecurity, energy security, food security, and we are also increasing the production of.
Hey, Froggy Maxi, I was about to. I thought it was over. I'm like, I'm about to go. Froggy Maxi, we're gonna have to make this work now.
Of domestic military products. So that is pretty much it. As regards the battlefield, the situation is very difficult. It hasn't changed much during the last months. We want to decrease the quantity of the Russian military contingent that is conducting assaults against us. We have stabilized situation on certain axes, and the east situation is not yet fully stabilized, and we have a recent challenge with the North Korean troops. So that is pretty much it.
There was a report in the Mail on Sunday newspaper here in the UK yesterday, based on an article written by Ian Duncan Smith, who was a former leader of the Conservative Party.
She said, you know how to get a hold of me
in this country. And he said he'd spoken to a high-ranking official from Ukraine who had said to him that you could lose this war.
You know what would probably be bugging girls a little bit? If they see somebody that they messing with, like talking to somebody else, and then the girl actually look good, they'd be like, no!
Within 6 months, if you didn't get the support you need, particularly from the United States. Is that true? I mean, could you lose in that time scale if you don't get what you need?
Допомога дуже потрібна.
The aid is very much needed. It is not stopped as of today. So the supplies are going as they
and I understand this is a proxy war and everything like that, like, but still, I don't like our money going over there.
were going during the last year or 1.5 years when the processes were slightly slowed. And certain things did not arrive on time, unfortunately, but they came later. And this gave us the opportunity to support our army, to our defense force.
This is sad, though, to me, right? It's like people claim that they have a country, right? I mean, he got a country, thug life. But it's like, y'all don't, how you got a country and y'all don't even have like money? So like, or you got like a super weak military and like you need, like you basically begging America to like finance everything. Like, how are you like really a ruler? Like at least you know what I'm saying? At least Vladimir Putin, like he got a military that's all right. You know what I'm saying? Moat said, "Is this live?" Yeah, it's live. He got a military that's all right. This like, come on, bro. They need us for everything. They like, we babysitting them. We like tell them what to do. Yeah, you can launch long range missiles into Russia. Like you could do that. You know what I mean? We tell her everything. Like, what is you for, bro? Like, I don't want, like, I'm glad we in America, like, you know what I mean? You can't really help the circumstance in which you were born in, right? You can always change the circumstance. You can move different places depending on what's going on in your life. If you're able, if you're capable, right? Sometimes you can't help where you're born. You know what I mean? What you are indoctrinated to believe and all of that. I am glad I am in America. Like, for reasons like that. I would feel some type of way if my president was like, begging another country for money. I wouldn't like that, bro. I would be like, what is this, bro? Like, how am I supposed to be scared of you, bro? Like, we need the 77 billion from America. 177 billion.
Forces and undoubtedly to defend against the enemy. As of today, the situation is as it is. It is important that we have started to produce more in Ukraine. So around 40% of the weaponry in 2025 is domestically made. And this gives not the tranquility, but more of the moral belief that we will not be empty. Of course, without
Froggy said, hit the likes.
The support from the United States of America, or with the slow support, we can lose the bits of our territory.
Oretta said, a man can't help where he comes from, but he can choose where he ends up. Yeah, I mean, in certain situations, yeah, you can. Sometimes you can't, man. Like, you can be born with something debilitating and, you know what I mean? You can, or maybe it's a financial reason, but, you know, more often than not, you have the capabilities to do something. You know what I mean? So, but that's why I love to have been born here. A lot of people, like when I travel to go to different countries, a lot of people want to come here. Their dream is to come to America. So to be able to have experienced American as an American citizen, some parts of it I like. You know what I mean? I think America gets a lot of things right. You know, we get some things wrong, but a lot of things we do get right. I think we get the Food and Drug Administration wrong, FDA. I think they need to outlaw more things. Hopefully, RF, I can't say the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can fix some of that. We see the Department of Government Efficiency. They actually seem like they're cleaning up the government. I think that's fire. You know what I mean? And then eventually, hopefully they can end up doing something with the healthcare system. But this is America. America is a business, right? United States is a business. I feel like it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they operate with impunity. They do whatever they want to do, right? So it's like, it's only so much you can do, like when you in America. And you know, when the Supreme Court said that businesses are like, you know what I mean, can looked at as people and stuff like that just, now America is just business oriented. You know what I'm saying? Businesses can just run all over people here. That's how I feel, you know? So it's going to be very difficult to try to overhaul a healthcare system when you got so many businesses, you know, that, you know, these pharmaceutical companies and all of that have money to, you know, really change like direction of where things should go, you know? So I don't know, man. Eastern Ukraine voted for independence before Russia invaded. I absolutely wouldn't fight and die over an area not loyal to my country. This is what Dan said in the comment section. Interesting.
It will not happen that as fast as people say or some people think, and some enemies. And I'm here not speaking about the British colleague. Please don't get me wrong.
Hey, one thing I do respect about trolls, right? People troll. I troll too. Some people can't wait to troll. They will follow you just to troll. They're like, I'm gonna wait this minute. As soon as this minute over, I'm going into this chat and I'm going off. If you trolling and you doing that, I got a little respect for you. I got some respect for you. Cause you really meant what you said.
But we will be standing as strong as we can. But for sure, if the contribution to Ukrainian defensive capability and security of Ukraine from the United States as of today is now around 30%, so you can imagine what will happen to us without this 30%.
Is it a fact, President Zelensky, that if the Americans under President Trump pull their support and stop their support for Ukraine, that you would lose the war? Is it as simple as that?
If the aid from the United States stops, this is what will happen. I'm sure that this is not only the stoppage of the US support. It will have the influence on the European leaders. Very soon, influence on the leaders of Europe and leaders of the EU.
Yeah, Froggy Megsy said trolls be trolling hard. Bruh, they will they'll wait that minute to be subscribed, and they'll be like, oh, are you looking at the chat? Like, yeah. They forget you. Yo, you gotta respect it.
And if this support holds, this will definitely destabilize the alliance that I have mentioned above, and it will decrease the aid from Europe, and then we will depend not only on the US support, but also on the risk of the disruption of the supplies from European countries, and then it will be not 30% or 35%, it will be at least 60% of our support overall. And therefore, this risk to lose our territory and of Putin's victory, of course, it will be growing. And this...
Somebody said a money pit. They said they're already losing. Yeah. Bro, like Zelensky don't even, like, I'm so glad like Trump didn't invite him to the inauguration. I'm glad, bro. Zelensky don't even realize he losing. Like, bro, you got a battery in your back. And, you know, like, I mean, he in a position of where he does have to, like, fight for his country. He got to get the funds wherever he can get them. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to, like, beg and cry and try to get as much money as he can. But when you have to do that, like, you low-key losing. Like, Vladimir Putin doesn't have to do that. He's got a rich country. You know, so the second America or somebody, like, pulls out, they are in serious trouble. Like, the price of ammunition is crazy. Like, I go to the range, you know what I'm saying? Like, do stuff like that. Like, the cost of that is crazy. You know what I mean? And they not just buying, like, 50 round boxes. They buying, like, you know what I'm saying? Boatloads of it. You know? So it's, I mean, all types of rounds and all, like, the vehicles, the blicks to pop it off, and it's crazy the amount of money to finance a war. People don't understand that, you know. So he is really, like, if America stops giving him money, he's done. And it's like, it's even worse than that, right? Like, because you look at it like, all right, so Russia can just go ahead and invade. Like, he is running that place. They coming for his head. You see what I'm saying? And he in that position. Like, can y'all imagine that? Like, yo, the one wrong misstep, you do the wrong thing, America pulls out, and then Vladimir Putin can just come and take you out if he feels like it. And the only thing that's really saving them, the saving grace, right? Because they are dying to be in the United Nations. Literally. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's like, they'll do anything to be in the United Nations. They want that type of support. You know, so I don't know, man. It's like a weak country to me. Like Ukraine was like really beautiful before this all kicked off. Like I knew a girl that lived in Ukraine that came over here as a, you know what I mean, to get away from all of this. And she would show me like so many pictures and like tell me about their way of life. And like, you know, she just worked at a coffee shop and she was able to pay for everything, had a house and everything. You know, like they didn't really tax their citizens all crazy like that. So, I mean, but that ended up working against them. You know what I mean? Like they don't have like the capital to really finance a war on their own. So it's a lot of like intricacies that go into all of this. You know, but Ukraine was once a beautiful land, but not, now it's like war torn. Towns are like leveled. You know what I mean? This is crazy. This is insanity. And you under the American grace.
This is a very serious thing. For sure, without such aid, we cannot get by. Look at us and look at Russia. They are a big country, but with the help of our partners, we are fighting, I believe, with dignity. And the Russians do not have a great advantage over us. Only because of the slow aid to Ukraine, it happens so. Something did not arrive, something we were lacking, and that influenced the situation. And the morality, and not only the morality of our army and of the people of Ukraine, of civilians who very much count on the support. Therefore, the stoppage of the support, heavens forbid, and I'll believe that President Trump will not make such steps. He will not stop the support to Ukraine, because that will definitely influence the decrease in support from Europe, and that is a high risk. In the end of the day, the support from the United States is not only support to Ukraine, it is the support to all of
NATO.
Europe. And if Ukraine does not withstand, and we have discussed that multiple times, they will go further. They will be in the Baltic states, in Poland. They will go further for sure to Romania. Many other states were
So he wants he either wants nuclear weapons or he wants like a NATO membership. I don't know why I keep saying United Nations or a NATO membership. Let me show y'all this, bro. And we're gonna go to the New York Post and show y'all this. Let me show you this. Ukraine says it needs nukes or NATO membership. I'll be the laugh, thug life. They like, hey, they in trouble. This is the New York Post. Ukraine says it needs them or the NATO membership to keep Russia from attacking the West. 3 decades after Ukraine agreed to give up its atomic weapons, it says what does it say? Yeah, it says 3 decades after Ukraine agreed to give up its atomic weapons, the country's president says Kyiv is prepared to become a nuclear power again should it not be granted accession to NATO. Let them give us nuclear weapons. Will they give us the missiles in the quantities that we can stop Russia? And I'm not sure of that, but I think it would help. Zelensky told Piers Morgan in an interview to be broadcast Tuesday night, is the one that we're listening to right now. Otherwise, what missiles can stop Russia's nuclear missiles? The Ukrainian president asked. That is a rhetorical question. Under the 1994 Budapest memorandum, I'm turning 40. I'm saying memorandum, Ukraine agreed to give up nuclear weapons it had inherited from the former Soviet Union. It says, in exchange, Russia, the United Kingdom of the United States agreed not to use military force or economic coercion against Ukraine unless in self-defense or otherwise in accordance with the United Nations Charter. In the 30 years and 2 months since the agreement was signed, Russia has invaded Ukraine twice, killing or injuring hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians over the past 3 years alone. Ukraine's first applied to NATO membership in 2008. In that period, the Atlantic Alliance has grown from 26 nations to 32, with the addition of Albania, Croatia, Finland. Oh, they got Croatia in there now? Wow. Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Sweden. Wow. NATO is not today, but sometime in the future, Zelensky told Morgan. Then all of then all this for us when we go to NATO, all of this, when we are waiting, no matter how long it takes. And unfortunately, it does not depend on us. And this process that's crazy. Y'all are so like needy, bro. Ukraine is so needy, bro. That's crazy.
That can be.
Ace Willie 9 said, watch him out. Hey, Ace, when I turn 40, can I tell y'all something, bro? I'm like, what they be talking about, bro? I'm 40 years old. I feel good, bro. I woke up one morning, my body went crack. Oh, man. I was stuck like this for 20 minutes. No! I couldn't reach my phone. I finally got the strength. Crack. Oh, Lord, help me. So now I'm in a whole nother bracket. I'm like, the 30s was cool. Now 40s, I'm like, I don't want to break nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking and my knee give out. Look up. I'm trying to play it off like I done tripped on something. I'm like, no, my knee didn't. I'm talking to NPCs in real life. Next thing you know, I'm thinking of a word. I say something else. It's over. I'm trying to say NATO. My brain's trying to say NATO. My mouth says United Nations. No! If this is happening at 40, what is going to happen to me at 50? I stopped drinking Diet Coke. I'm like, it's the Diet Coke. I'm trying to blame it on everything else. You get older, you start thinking about your mortality a little bit. Emma, my magazine said my mouth went out on me. This is crazy, Emma.
He occupied vastly.
You know how we used to make fun of Biden? Now I'm like, Biden, I understand. You can't walk in the sand. Now I'm like, do I want to go on the beach? Karma, like waiting on the beach for me to walk in the sand and fall. It follows.
And can be destabilized fastly.
President Trump said several days ago that he estimates from the intelligence that he's been given by his own people that Russia has lost as many as 600,000 soldiers, and Ukraine has lost 400,000 soldiers and many more civilians. Are those numbers correct? President Trump made fixing the economy an election-winning priority. But let's
shout out to my dog, bro, Piers Morgan.
Я думаю, так на сьогодні.
I think the following way. Approximately. Around 350,000 Russians have been killed. There are a lot of them missing in action. I do not fully know, but around 50 to 70,000 missed in action Russians. Further, they have around 600,000, 700,000 wounded, approximately. The ratio is 1 to 2, that wounded, because their field medicine is weaker than ours, and they do not bring people who are wounded back. If the person is wounded on the battlefield, it stays there. So the estimates are approximately like that, but they are very clear to reality. As regards our people, the exact numbers are very important for us. 45,100 people are dead, and we have around 390,000 cases of people being wounded. Here, let me be precise. The number of people wounded is bigger than the number of wounded people, actually, because there are people who've been wounded and then they came back to the battlefield and have been wounded again. So
Respect VA said, where the money at?
the numbers of wounded is 390,000. That is the situation, but the number of people is less. We have troubles with three types of numbers. The first one is thousands of people who are missing, and these are really thousands. And how many of those are really missing and how many are prisoners, I do not, as of today, know the precise number, but we are working on it. And thousands really of the men are prisoners of war. The precise number depends again on the thousands of missing in action, what happened to them. So that is the estimation as of today. And the third number that we do not understand fully is children. We believe that 19,500, 19,800 people, kids were forcefully brought to Russia from the temporarily occupied territories. That is what we understand. Although, let me be frank, we do not know how many kids were killed on the occupied territories, and it is understandable that we do not know how many thousands of civilians from the law enforcement agencies, from the state institutions that have been captured. So how many of those people are in captivity or have been killed? So these numbers, they indeed very much influence the overall statistics.
The Russians, through the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, have today said that they can't discuss a potential four-way peace talk between yourself, Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and a European representative, because they believe you are now an illegitimate president, because you were due to have an election in May of last year, and because you're operating as a country under martial law, you were not able to have that election. They're now trying to say that this makes you an illegitimate president, and who no longer has the democratic will of his people. What do you say to that?
Я хотів би повернутись трішки.
I would like to come back one step before the full-scale invasion in the first place.
Десь по телефону, і це було з Путіним.
I truly wanted to have a telephone call even with Putin after our meeting in Normandy forum a couple times, after we have made an agreement on the ceasefire that they have violated. We had a couple of phone conversations with Putin, and then he disappeared for more than 1 year. And after this,
Hold on, what is this lady talking about? Hold on, let me show y'all something.
Y'all something. I know some of y'all have been frustrated, and you've been saying, "Where are Democrats? Where are our leaders?" Well, I'm here to tell you that we ain't never left y'all.
Go ahead.
All right, we are here.
Y'all been left the people. Y'all ain't paying attention to the people. Y'all was giving our money to like different countries. Like, what are you talking about? What you mean you were here?
We are also going to make sure that they uphold the law. We are not going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses. And we
I'm gonna let this ghetto lady. She's protesting Elon Musk being able to go through the Treasury Department and see what's going on. Yeah, her mic is terrible. And she can't stop being ghetto. She got to cuss. She got to do all this.
We are going to make sure, you understand what democracy looks like. This ain't it. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right?
So she is a Republican? No. Ain't no way. She hiding. She's a Democrat in hiding. Ain't no way. This lady crazy.
Disappearance, the full-scale invasion began. For all this time, I have tried, and your colleagues can trace it, and others can trace it in public domain, not publicly. You asked leaders in the US, in Europe. I have appealed to everybody, and I very much wanted to speak to him, to have the opportunity to meet with him, and to speak on any without any conditions, to just meet and have the dialogue regarding the end of the war, ceasefire again, and before the full-scale invasion, the exchange of all the prisoners. I wanted to bring our citizens back. What then said his press secretary, his spokesperson? What can we speak about? There is nothing to...
So they're looking for somebody to rally the left. She is overly dramatic, over-the-top mess. Y'all be putting these hood people in politics. I mean, we will, you know what I mean? Like, let's get somebody in the hood. Then they go up there saying bad words. It's like, oh my God.
To speak about, we don't understand the reason.
We gonna be all in y'all faces. Y'all know who she sound like to me? Hold on, let me show y'all this, right? Let me show y'all. This is what this lady sound like to me. Hold on.
Now I might.
Y'all seen that Indian lady? Hold on, this not Indian, but like Pakistan. She like American lady that went to Pakistan or something like that. And she like, she tried to extort the government, like trying to get money from them. Have y'all seen this lady? Thug life. This is who that lady remind me of.
Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Yeah, please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government.
I need 100K in my pocket. That's a demand to the government. Yo, she over there in, what is it, Pakistan talking reckless? Does she know what they would do to her? Yo, she wildin' Red Hunter. Like, hold on, we gotta rewind this.
Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Yeah, please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets.
I need 20K by this week in my pockets. Whose auntie is this? Get her out of here. Yeah. I've never seen somebody like, bruh, hey, y'all countries better beware. We gonna come over there and terrorize y'all. I need 100K. I need 20,000 in my pocket immediately. Yes, she is doing that. We're going to run it back. We're going to let it play out.
Listen. Please sit down. Be
quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have seat.
Hold on. She said, be quiet. I'm not sitting down. Yo, what? Yo.
Listen. Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it, okay? Lock him up.
Right now.
Right now,
Yo, what?
Now, I might close it down, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna fix it up, put a new owner in place, and we're gonna do that. Lock him up. So where are you going right now? Right now, I'm about to go.
That's what that lady remind me of. Little ghetto lady up there trying to, we gonna be watching you.
I know some of y'all have been frustrated.
Get up out of here, lady.
For the meat in Ukraine is disrupting the truce, although they were shelling constantly, and I very much wanted that we simply preserve the agreements. This does not work with them. So with them, the opportunity to end the war does not work out. This did not work out. Then they were sure of their strengths. They understood that they always wanted to destroy Ukraine. Now they're looking for other reasons because they're not willing to end the war. They do not want to end this war. Tomorrow they will say that they are ready to meet directly with Trump, that Ukraine, they don't need it because this is not the war of Russia against Ukraine. They have just some operation there, and this is a global war of Russia against NATO, and NATO is the United States, so we are ready to speak only with the United States. But that is all preposterous. They do not want to end the war. Putin has...
Bro, this dude's too soft. This dude ain't ready for Putin. Putin's a war dog, bro. Like, hey! I don't dislike Putin like a lot of people. I don't really be disliking him all like that. You know what I'm saying? I think people be like trying to play Putin and Putin be standing on business a lot of times. That's what I be thinking. So I ain't really like, you know, like this dude ain't built. Bro, Putin don't play, bro. He used to wrestle bears. He do not play. This guy ain't ready. This dude ain't ready.
Only one desire, that Ukraine does not exist. So I definitely don't suit them because they need their...
James said, why is this dude's face moving? Look, he's got a translator. That's not him talking. So he'll say something, the translator says it, and then he'll say something else and the translator will say it. Like, they're trying to be the liaison between, the translator is the liaison between Piers Morgan and Zelensky, so they can understand each other.
Puppet person here. They want their men that will be ruling Ukraine, and sincerely that was what happened, what was before the war and previously when they had the second party by size in Ukrainian parliament. They were influencing Ukraine to never choose the European path so that Ukraine always stays under the foot of Russian Federation. Their desire is to place their men, and honestly they want to do basically what they have done in Chechnya when they have destroyed it to the...
Dude, I'm sick of this dude, bro. He's a weak dude. I'm sorry. He ain't got no kahunas. He's weak. You know what I mean? Like, he just begging, like, oh, if everybody stops giving us aid, we don't know what we're gonna do. America's supposed to give us 177 billion. They only gave us 77 billion. Where's the other 100 billion? Oh, help me, help me, help me. Like, get out of here. Weakness. Why we got to be helping them all like that? Like, what are they going to do for America? Wildfires in North Carolina. What does Zelensky do for us? Over the years, what does he do? Nothing. We giving I'm sorry, we're giving all these countries like money for operas to have an opera. $30-some thousand to start making comic books. Zelensky gets $77 billion. Like, bro, like he just, bro, he's just sucking the money out of America. Like this dude right here. I know we're fighting a proxy war or whatever. Like he's got to be in the front line. We're giving him money, you know, the proxy war. Blah 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 blah. It's weak. I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? But let's listen to. Y'all know we don't play that. Let's go to White House website and listen to some things. So it said President Trump holds a press conference with Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel.
Soon be stronger than ever. We had a great relationship. We had great victories together 4 years ago. Not so many victories over the past 4 years, however. In my first term, Prime Minister and I forged a tremendously successful partnership that brought peace and stability to the Middle East like it hadn't seen.
Hold on, this ain't what I wanted to see. Tired of Netanyahu. Yeah, nope. That is kind of what I wanted to see. Never mind.
The future, discussing how we can work together to ensure Hamas is eliminated and ultimately restore peace to a very troubled region. It's been troubled, but what's happened in the last 4 years has not been good. I want to thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for working closely with my transition team, the special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who's here somewhere. Steve? Stand up, Steve, please. What a job you've done.
And I don't think, I mean, I hear what Zelensky saying, like they want nukes or they want NATO. They're like, help them, oh, help me. We don't want to give y'all nukes. Y'all want them to have nukes? What you think they're going to do? I think they think just by having like warheads, right? I think they think if they have those, it will be enough to make Russia just stop. You know what I mean? But like, if I'm Russia, bro, and I get word that a country's gonna give them that, hey, bro, that country about to go quickly. You know what I'm saying? Especially if what's his name, Joe Biden already gave authorization for them to launch long-range missiles into Russia. No, let me hear you getting your hands on that. And I'm Vladimir Putin. It's a wrap. We're not doing that.
What a good job you've done. Proud of you. Done a fantastic job. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike, for working so well with us. Thank you. We have, in addition, Marco Rubio, who...
Oh, hold on.
Elon Musk.
The homie, and hold on. Let's see what Devore Darkin's talking about. Hold on real quick.
Elon Musk has been...
To assist the Pentagon, the early 1960s by JFK, 1961. It was created because you had all of this intelligence, statecraft, and...
Oh, all right, seen that. All right. I don't know why you're showing us that, but let's see what you're talking about, Devore.
So
now I want to play that clip because Mike Benz gets a lot of credit here. He's been on USAID's wasteful spending for many, many years now. So follow him on X if you don't do so. And also understand this, USAID is one piece to the overall wasteful spending of the federal government, but they're getting the most attention because not only is the amount atrocious, but what they're spending the money on has been atrocious. And we're going to get to that later in this video. Obviously, their funds are appropriated by Congress in the amount of $50 billion. But here's the problem. There's no oversight. There's nobody there auditing where every single dollar goes. And because President Trump made the promise to cut wasteful spending, how do you do that? You got to audit. But I want to start first with the meltdowns because I think you're entertained by it. I'm entertained by it because it's coming from these people who they no longer have any control over the Democratic Party. They are in free fall at this point. And so let's get to Chuck Schumer and what he has to say about Elon Musk and DOGE after they have exposed this corruption.
Before our very eyes, an unelected shadow government is conducting a hostile takeover of the federal government.
Saving Americans money is a hostile takeover.
Friday night, the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, led by billionaire Elon Musk, gained access to the Treasury Department's entire system of payments, including Social Security and Medicare benefits and Americans' tax refunds. I'll say more on this in a moment. But that was not all. This weekend, DOGE staffers also executed what can only be described as an illegal seizure of the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID. We don't know who these DOGE staffers are. We don't know if they have security clearances. We don't know what legal authority they have to access a USAID facility.
Man, they getting so mad, bro. So mad.
If any. We also know this is just the beginning. If DOGE attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies.
Well, I do agree with Chuck Schumer on a couple of things. Maybe we should get rid of the IRS. I would hope that they would slash that. I mean, I'm sure we'd save a lot of money, and I think that would put more money in the pockets of everyday Americans, of course, but I'm sure that probably won't happen. Secondly, he's scared about Elon Musk and whether or not he has the security clearances, but he forgets to mention that it was Joe Biden that granted Elon Musk a top secret clearance in 2022. And thirdly, President Trump has the authority to obviously delegate to Elon Musk and DOGE, because it's part of the executive branch at this point, to go look up payments and figure out where every penny is going. And this level of outrage just shows you how complicit they are in this corruption. Now, here is Senator Kennedy explaining why what Elon Musk is doing.
All right, let me look at these comments. Somebody said they couldn't have afford to take care of homeless, no excuse. And this is you know, in this type of economy, you know what I mean? Sean Mayberry said, how is it shadow if we all know about it? And then Local Things said, what? Hide behind, what is y'all talking about?
Is so important.
President Trump ran for office saying, I'm going to review every single penny in the federal budget. Now, how are you going to review the spending in the federal budget without reviewing the spending? And that's what Mr. Musk is doing. Now, many of my Democratic colleagues and some of the tofu-eating wokerati at the USAID are screaming like they're part of a prison riot because they don't want us reviewing the spending. But that's all Mr. Musk is doing, and he's finding some pretty interesting stuff. To my friends who are upset, I would say with respect, call somebody who cares. They better get used to this. It's USAID today. It's going to be Department of Education tomorrow. And really, here's what's going on. For 4 years under President Biden, the people in charge asked one simple question. Who needs to pay more in taxes? Who needs to pay more in taxes? Well, that's not the question that the Republicans and President Trump are going to ask. Our question is, what the hell happened to the money? And that's all that's going on.
Yeah, so the question that matters right now is, what have they been spending the money on? Well, according to DOGE, they put this up on their account. USAID spends $40 billion of taxpayer dollars to fund, quote, foreign aid. For example, $45 million to DEI scholarships in Burma.
Wow, spends $40 billion of taxpayer dollars to fund foreign aid. It's crazy, man. 45 to DEI scholarships in Burma. 520 million for consultant-driven ESG investments in Africa. Bro, 1.2 billion in awards to undisclosed recipients. What if Elon Musk can find money laundering type stuff? type stuff going on, bro. I think that's why they're so scared.
520 million for consultant-driven ESG investments in Africa, and 1.2 billion in awards to undisclosed recipients. And yesterday, the White House.
Shout out to Devory Darkins. He got 812,000 subscribers. We literally watched him jump 600,000 subscribers in 3 months. That's crazy. That's incredible. Shout out to him. 3 months. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to him. I need to start covering politics more. I think I jumped like 60,000 or something like that. But bro, this is crazy. That's a lot of people, bro. Y'all can subscribe to me if y'all want. Thug Life. Subscribe to your boy.
Press Secretary Caroline came out and also offered some examples of what USAID has been spending taxpayer dollars on.
And here's the reason why Elon Musk and others have been taking a look. Because if you look at the waste and abuse that has run through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
I agree. If American citizens actually knew where every single dollar was going, especially when it comes to USAID, they would come to the conclusion that it's pretty much a scam, okay? It's a front. It's not really being used majority of the time for legitimate foreign aid. Now, there are, and you can find certain programs within there that are actually doing great work. That may be 10% of it, but the rest of the 90% is fraud, waste, and abuse, and that's not even debatable.
7 of us said all these years we could have been getting a check every month just for being in America. Instead, we hand out money to other countries. Let me say this. I think us handing money out to different countries, I think it helps us control the countries. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm being like really outside of, you know what I mean, political beliefs and all that, like looking outside of the spectrum, right? That's how I look at it. So like when you look at it like a Zelensky or something, he's basically groveling for aid. You know what I mean? Like slithering, like please, like that's how. But it's not just him, it's like other countries as well. Like they grovel and they do whatever we want them to do for like billions of dollars and stuff like that. America just prints that. You know what I'm saying? All right, billions of dollars, we send it over to whatever, right? But to them, that's like the world, that can run their government for like so many, you know what I mean? So, they don't have people that make a certain amount of money, you know what I mean? Like, and then tax them and all. Like, they don't have a lot of revenue streams like America. So, we also print money, so us sending them aid, like we can be like, all right, we'll send you some aid this year, but this is what you're going to have to do for us. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to be involved in NATO or if you're going to be doing this is what you're going to have to do for us. And it's like, they got to comply. And I think we use our military like that as well. Like, yo, we'll come over there and we'll help you. We'll set up a base over there. We got a base over there. People are going to think twice about coming over here and attacking and this, that, and the third, right? But if we do that, this is what we're going to need from y'all. So I think that's how a lot of this is handled. You know what I mean? We use money to coerce other countries. I'm not saying that that is true. I'm just saying that's how I think. You know what I mean? In particular situations. So we may look at it like, yeah, we just give, like, I can't even remember the country. You know what I mean? It's like a rich Qatar, I think it is. Like their citizens they just get checks and, you know what I mean? All of that. So our country ain't really built like that. We've got oil and stuff like that, but I think it would be nice if they gave us all money, but people don't appreciate what they have. You know what I mean? Like what they, you get people money, they just burn it and blow it. Like even the people in Qatar, they get money, they just buy Ferraris. You just blow the money. It would be nice though. Some people can be like really smart about it and utilize the money in the best ways. you know, but with this type of system, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think they just want to use that money to control other countries. And in a way, it further protects us, you know, because we can control how they maneuver. But, you know, it is frustrating and annoying as a taxpayer to see your money like going out the window. If it's necessary, okay. If it's not and it's bloat and we paying like $30,000 and stuff like that for somebody to start comic books, I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Or we giving somebody like $27,000 or $40,000 to do an opera? Like, I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
So instead of the Democratic Party focusing on the fraud, waste, and abuse, like President Trump.
Yeah, so fraud, waste, and abuse. And this is what Elon Musk and Vivek was going after. That's why they were so, you know what I mean, bent on trying to get Vivek and Elon Musk out of there. You know, try to do anything that they can to slander these people because they don't want people looking into the books to see what's really going on. Now that Elon Musk, if he gets the ability to be able to look at what is being spent in the Treasury Department, like who is getting these checks, you know, that the Treasury officers are just allowing to go out. If he could see, like, okay, wait, these are terrorist organizations. They shouldn't be getting any of our money. This is fraud. Like, this shouldn't be going over it. Now, if they can go in there and just save money everywhere, I think we'll be in a better place, honestly. And maybe we could save, like, Social Security for when we get older.
And the rest of the administration is doing, they're focused on attacking Elon Musk and calling him unintelligent.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever.
AOC said Elon Musk is one of the most unintelligent billionaires. This is Democrat logic, right? How are you a billionaire and you're unintelligent? This is literally insane. AOC is literally insane. I mean, she's not literally insane, but this is literally insane watching AOC act insane. What do y'all think about this?
Met or seen or witnessed, which, you know, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart.
Meanwhile, the Democrats couldn't figure out where all of the money and the waste was going. But she's saying Elon Musk is not smart. This is the real life Tony Stark's Doug life. I got 2 Teslas. And I know what it is. He's Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? Like, y'all Democrats couldn't figure this out? Y'all couldn't figure out how to save us money? Y'all was figuring out how to spend us into oblivion. And she's trying to say Elon Musk is not smart. How is she even making sense? Hey, Amama Magazine, I was wondering that myself. I can't say that on YouTube. But I was kind of... What's up, Froggy? I was wondering that, Amma.
And the danger.
She like, let me put a little bit more sauce on this message and get them to pay attention.
in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least.
And she's saying Elon Musk is not intelligent. What? My bad for keeping you paused like that, AOC. She can't even think of what she wants to say, but she's saying Elon Musk is unintelligent.
Knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably they are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
Now, this continues to be the talking point, right? They make this extreme claim. He's going to hit a button and things are going to go sideways. And they always forget to mention that things have already gone sideways, right? It's like telling someone, hey,
talk to her, Devori Darkins, because she not getting it.
Don't touch that because you're going to break it, but it's already broken. So how does that work exactly? That's what's going on with USAID, and particularly overall with the federal government as it pertains to their spending. It's fraud, waste, and abuse. When I served in the military, we used to get a training on fraud, waste, and abuse. And you know what was so funny about all that? We still committed fraud, waste, and abuse because the government, they can't help it. It's a habit. Now, it became so bad that President Trump had to appoint Secretary of State Marco Rubio as the acting administrator of USAID. And here's what he had to say about what's going on.
You're now the head of USAID. The head of DOGE, Elon Musk, called USAID a criminal organization and added that it is time for it to die. Do you agree with that?
They have basically evolved into an agency that believes that they're not even a U.S. government agency, that they are a global charity, that they take the taxpayer money and they spend it as a global charity, irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. One of the most common complaints you will get if you go to embassies around the world from State Department officials and ambassadors and the like is USAID is not only not cooperative, they undermine the work that we're doing in that country. They are supporting programs that upset the host government for whom we're trying to work with on a broader scale and so forth. This is not about getting rid of foreign aid. There are things that we do through USAID that we should continue to do. That makes sense. And we'll have to decide, is that better through...
Let's see what's going on with USAID right now. USAID direct hires put on leave worldwide except those deemed essential. Washington AP, the Trump administration is placing U.S. Agency for International Development direct hire staffers around the world on leave except those deemed essential, appending the aid agency's 6-decade mission overseas. A notice posted online Tuesday gives the workers 30 days to return home. The move had been rumored for several days and was the most extreme of several proposals considered for consolidating into the State Department. Other options had included closures of smaller USAID missions and partial closures of larger ones. Thousands of USAID employees already have been laid off and programs worldwide shut down after President Donald Trump imposed a sweeping freeze on foreign assistance. In the space of a few weeks, Trump political appointee and Elon Musk budget slashing Department of Government Efficiency have dismantled the aid agency despite outcry from Democratic lawmakers. They have ordered a spending stop that has paralyzed us, funded aid and developed work around the world, gutted the senior leadership and workforce with furloughs and firing, and closed Washington headquarters to staffers Monday. Lawmakers said the agency's computer servers were carted away. That's crazy. Spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper, Musk boasted on X. Hey. Yo, that is crazy. Imagine like he like gutting your job and then like joking about it on Twitter. Yo, Elon is a savage, bro. This dude is a savage. Yo, that's crazy. It says a decision to withdraw direct hire staff and their families earlier than their planned departure. Oh man, like all these advertisements. It's crazy. The decision to withdraw direct hire staff and their families earlier than their planned departure will likely cost the government tens of millions of dollars in travel and relocation costs. Staff being placed on leave include both foreign and civil service officers who have legal protection against arbitrary dismissal and being placed on leave without reason. The American Foreign Service Association, the union which represents U.S. diplomats, sent a notice to its members denouncing the decision and saying it was preparing legal action to counter or halt it. Locally employed USAID staff, however, do not have much recourse and were excluded from the federal government's voluntary buyout offer. Yo. USAID staffers abroad have been fearing the move, packing up household belongings over the past week. Families face wrenching decisions as the move loomed, including whether to pull children out of school midday. Some gave away pets, cats, and dogs. I don't want to hear that. Fearing the Trump administration would not give them time to complete the paperwork to bring the animals with them. The announcement came as Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on a 5-nation tour of Central America and met with embassy and USAID staff of two of the region's largest USAID missions, El Salvador and Guatemala, on Monday and Tuesday. Journalists, I don't know. What do y'all think about that? It says journalists accompanying Rubio were not allowed to witness the so-called meet and greet session in those two countries, but had been allowed in for a similar event in Panama on Sunday, in which Rubio praised employees, particularly locals, of their dedication and service. First of all, I do want to say this though, right? These search engines, y'all kind of crazy. I'm saying that because of this, bro. I literally went to go look at a truck at this dealership and it's popping up. I didn't look for it on my phone. None of that. I was just there. And like now the dealership, like, bro, like these phones is crazy, bro. This crazy. Anyway, Democratic lawmakers and others say the USAID is what? I'm not buying that. It says Democratic lawmakers and others say the USAID is enshrined in legislation as an independent agency and cannot be shut down without congressional approval. The online notice says those who will exempt it from leave include staffers responsible for mission critical functions, core leadership, and specially designated programs, and would be informed by Thursday afternoon. So I don't know. What do y'all think?
Through the State Department, or is that better through something, reformed USAID? That's the process we're working through. There are things that are happening at USAID that we should not be involved in funding.
Selling your info too. That's crazy though. Like, I literally just test drove like a Silverado Z71 or something, C91 or whatever it was. Literally just did that today. I didn't even look at it on my phone, nothing. I was just there. And like, I guess like, yo, these phones is literally going too far, bro. That's crazy. I didn't even use my GPS to go there. That's insane.
And or that we have.
I looked at a Corvette and then I looked at the truck that popped up. The same truck. It's crazy.
A lot of questions about, but they're completely uncooperative. So we had no choice but to take dramatic steps to bring this thing under control.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why the Democratic Party and pundits on the news and the left-wing media is continuing to try to distract you from what's going on here. And how are they doing that? They're trying to tug on your heartstrings and give you the worst case scenario in all of this. And they don't want you focused on where the money is going. They want you to focus on, well, what if they cut this particular program and it causes this ripple effect? And that might be true. But it's also true that there is massive fraud, waste, and abuse in this agency, and it needs to be addressed in some very extreme ways because you guys don't want to cooperate. Now, let me show you an example of how they're using this narrative to tug on your heartstrings. Here's Van Jones on CNN.
We can brag on Marco Rubio. I'd be happy to do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to die in very large numbers around the world who are expecting the United States to live up to our promises to get them medicine, to get them help. And when that happens, people are going to remember that. There are people right now who have HIV who are alive only because the United States is making sure of that. Donald Trump says, we don't care. You go die. That's the...
Please don't tell me y'all be... I'm not going to tell y'all not to listen to CNN. if you listen to CNN, please do your own independent research. These guys are just baiting you guys with emotion. It's just sad, man. He's like, I don't even want to say that, bro. I don't even want to say it. It's like Don Lemon 2.0.
The message from the United States government. It is the wrong message to be sending, and it opens up the door for China and other people say, at least we're a stable government who's not going to leave you out here to die. That's what this is not an app.
Bro, even like Anderson Cooper don't even believe this, dude. Look at Anderson Cooper's like eyes. When Anderson Cooper gets on screen, look at his eyes to the left.
The wrong message to be sending, and it opens up the door for China and other people say, at least we're a stable government who's not going to leave you out here to die. That's what this is not an abstract conversation for people around the world.
You know what? Let's take Van Jones out of his words.
Anderson
Let's
Cooper,
say
like,
he
what
is
is this dude talking about, bro?
right about all that.
Sean Mayberry said, "Cat." Oh, Muggsy said, "Forget CNN."
And why did the AP publish this story on February 2nd? Breaking. USAID security chiefs placed on leave after they refused to turn over classified material to Elon Musk's government inspection teams. So if you are doing good work and you're saving lives, wouldn't you turn over the documents to prove that? Wouldn't you stand up for what you believe? Wouldn't you provide the receipts to say, hey, we are doing the right thing here? Or would you not do it because you know there's massive corruption here, which is why Matt Gaetz said this. Imagine still believing that USAID is about delivering aid after reading this. But again, this is their response to it.
AOC is just giving people so much content, bro. If you want to start with waste, start with Elon's defense contracts at the Pentagon. In fact, we should start with transparency around defense contracts in general, which take up an enormous sum of public funds. But they won't do that, will they? Yo, people. Yo, this thing. Look at the engagement that she has. 3.8 million views, 85,000 likes, 1,600 bookmarks, 14,000 retweets, 14,000 comments. People listen to her. Can y'all imagine having that much engagement? That is crazy. I had a video that did 3.3 million views on TikTok, and I was like, whoa, it's crazy. Y'all know I went viral before. I had like another video, I had like millions of views. But like on a regular basis, AOC be going viral and she just be spewing like propaganda. And they just be eating it up. 14,000 retweets. What?
AOC, if you want to start with waste, start with Elon's defense contracts at the Pentagon. In fact, we should start with transparency around defense contracts in general, which take up an enormous sum of public funds, but they won't do that, will they? Well, what she doesn't understand is Elon Musk and SpaceX does not make up the bulk of defense contracts. In fact, it's actually a small minority. Now, if you want to go after Lockheed Martin and Boeing, that makes sense, and that's a legitimate criticism. But again, she misses on this. Now, here's Scott Jennings providing more common sense on this debate.
Republican who worked in the White House for President Bush when PEPFAR was passed.
Yes.
I think it's one of the most successful things for American soft power we've ever done. I think George W. Bush may have saved more human lives than any other president. This is an example of a positive use of American soft power. But there is a difference between soft power and stupid spending. And there is a long list of things today, as the Congresswoman pointed out, that...
Hey, hit the like buttons if y'all can. I think y'all trying to play me. The video's slowing down. We have 73,000 views. Stop playing. Oh, it's late. My bad. Hit the likes anyway.
All Americans would regard as stupid and not in line with any U.S. interest. And let me say one more thing.
I'm not denying
the
that.
USAID bureaucracy.
Do it, Scott.
Yes,
are you going to just shut down a whole agency, or are you going to find the waste and stop it?
The USAID bureaucracy is not American soft power. It's the money and the strategic direction. Today, he put Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, our Chief Foreign Policy Officer, in charge of USAID. Soft power will not stop. But out of control bureaucracy will stop, and that will help us.
Bill Cassidy says that it's stopped.
Okay, so the problem with Democrats and the people who oppose what Elon Musk and Trump is doing in regards to this entire debate is that they are missing out on common sense. If you hand someone $50 billion and there is zero audits and no follow-up and no accountability, what do you think they're going to do with the money? They're going to waste it. It's
what's going on, Froggy? All right. Thanks for coming in.
Human behavior. I find that fascinating, but wait a minute. They'll come and audit you and me. They want to know when we spent more than $600. They want to make sure that we pay our tax dollars, but they don't want us looking into what USAID is doing. Now, you tell me if that makes sense or not. Now, if you need more evidence to see how deep this wasteful spending goes, the National Desk, they have a YouTube channel. They published a story showing how the Government Accountability Office has exposed the amount of payments that are improper, fraudulent, wrong amount, or have gone to the wrong recipient. Hear it for yourself.
Billions blown on improper payments. The Government Accountability Office's latest report shows the federal government issued $161.5 billion in payments in fiscal year 2020.
Rita said, after the stuff they put me through in the past 4 years, I need some reparations. I know that's right, Rita.
That should not have been made or that were made at an incorrect amount.
I put the fault at Congress here. It's not really cracking down and doing what it needs to do.
I know. Hey, 7up the Ghost said Democrats told y'all more research need to happen about reparations. Hey, I don't mean to laugh. I've literally heard them say that. Ain't that crazy? I don't know if you trolling, but that's a fact. Like they've said that. That's crazy though.
To reduce these erroneous and fraudulent payments.
Since 2003, these improper payments have piled up to a total of $2.8 trillion. However, experts think it could be more since some federal agencies are not complying with guidelines mandated in the Payment Integrity Information Act of 2019.
Now, after looking at those numbers and really doing your research, I'm sure you're left wondering, why is the Democratic Party fighting this? Why do they believe it's smart to go down to the USAID federal office in D.C. and protest what Elon Musk and DOGE is doing? I don't know. I think they're continuing to double down on strategies that will make sure that they lose future elections. Now, let me show you the first protest. This is from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who herself and her country that she comes from has already received over $1 billion from USAID, but I guess that's another thing. Here's what she had to say.
I am exceptionally upset about USAID. I lived in a refugee camp for 4 years as a child surviving civil war. It is the essential programs that USAID provided that kept my family and I fed and safe. It is the resources that so many people around the world rely on. Now it's time. And it is our...
I don't want to hear her whining. Let me see what Rita from Left Sky News. Let me hear this.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and let's start with the perpetually outraged ladies of The View. They never fail to bring copious amounts of bile and hate, and one of their targets of late is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Here is Whoopi Goldberg saying she only got the job due to wokeness. What?
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
No, Whoopi. Corinne Jean-Pierre got the job because of wokeness. You and your old mate Joy Behar may have your jobs because of wokeness, but do not smear a competent professional woman like Caroline Leavitt with your nonsense, and don't lie about this being her first job. We know what you're doing there. And I mentioned Joy Behar. Here is...
We got to put respect on Rita's name. Shout out to Rita.
Joy objectifying the White House press secretary, saying she only has the job because she's hot.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Talk to her. Let's be clear. This is not her first job. She's worked for the previous Trump administration. Don't just try to get up here. Oh, well, Trump, and he hired her because she's a 10. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, the left wing be pushing this propaganda is crazy, bro. They playing on y'all heartstrings and just making like these wild claims. This is insane, bro.
You know what? She may be a 10, but she didn't get the job because of her looks. And anyone who has observed her at a briefing can figure that out for themselves.
What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government.
And one last point about Caroline Levitt, the manner in which she answers questions is often masterful compared to...
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Rita. The way she answers questions is masterful. Off the cuff, giving you a quick history lesson. You know what I'm saying? She's not running from anything like the previous administration, White House press secretary. You know what I mean? Try to veer you off course, talk about different things, get bored with you, yawn. And like, this lady is excited, invigorated, believes in administration, believes in what she's saying. You know what I mean? It comes off more effective. I like her. I think the lady is good.
To what we've witnessed in the past. It's succinct, it's accurate, and guess what? She doesn't need three big...
Jack said, dude, both parties push propaganda and Republicans do it even more. What are you talking about? They do it even more. Like, how are they doing it even more when the Democrats and liberals have way more platforms? Like, what are you saying? So how are they doing it even more if more platforms are liberal? That doesn't even make any sense. People push propaganda, it's what it is, right? But if we're looking at a government, you know what I mean, a regime or whatever, you know what I mean, the administration, whatever you want to call it, which administration is working for the people? Why are we just going to sit here and say, well, they're both bad when we got one working for the people right now? What's that going to do? How's that going to help?
Binders to come up with the answer.
Can you just...
Draco says she's 27. Thug life. She got that vigor in her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like she's vigorous. You know what I mean? I believe in the administration. I rock with that.
Tell us the numbers. How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them.
I've been playing BioShock. They talk about vigor a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing that game.
And because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals.
James said, I ain't mad, but why would I be mad? Apparently to you, I'm benefiting from your people's history right now. I think you're talking
as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
What a notion. You break a nation's laws and you're considered a criminal.
Hey, James Scott Jr., who are you talking to in the chat?
But back to The View, and here we have the deranged with hate Sunny Hostin blaming Donald Trump for the American Airlines crash. Here she demonstrates...
No, she did not. Rita, tell me she did not blame Donald Trump for this.
So not only is she beneath contempt, but she has absolutely no idea what any of these organizations do.
Trump fired the heads of the Transportation Security Administration and Coast Guard, and he also eliminated all the members of a key aviation security advisory group. The Aviation Security Committee will technically continue to exist, but it won't have any members to carry out the work of examining safety issues at airlines and airports. I think that is very telling.
Okay, so when things happen, right, like heads gotta roll. Like if things are not being put in place to where we can prevent tragedies in the appropriate way, and we're doing our investigation, we're finding out there's a lot of things that could have been done to further prevent tragedies, heads have got to roll. It's just what it is. It's just people got to get fired. You know, so I don't know, man.
that when, voters decide that they want someone to blow things up and they want someone to blow up infrastructures, this is the result.
Let's check in now with the Democrats and see how they are handling this enormous loss. Are they abandoning that woke craziness that made them unelectable?
The rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
Yeah, that's going to fix it. Now let's check in with a trans activist and see how they are dealing with the return of meritocracy. The answer is they're not doing well. Did you know?
Yo, did Trump say that we're going to take over the Gaza Strip? Hold on. The U.S. is going to take over. Yo, go to the White House YouTube channel and then watch the Trump and Netanyahu one. Yeah, he said that.
The DEI bans would extend to medical schools as well. Hi, my name's Delia. I am a transgender and intersex medical student, activist, and educator. DEI in medical education is not just about ensuring that we have physicians from diverse backgrounds. It's also about ensuring that we're learning about diverse populations and making sure that we are prepared to care for patients.
I'm about to get off here. Shout out to everybody at my magazine. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, for moderating the chat. I think you did a really good job. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. We got 240 subscribers this live. I appreciate everybody. There's a lot of news going on. You know what I'm saying? Look around. Always make sure you're looking at different opinions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see on here, I'll read what the liberals are saying. Look at what the Republicans are saying, and we all come to a conclusion of what we think. You are free to believe whatever you want to believe in this, you know what I'm saying, in our live. You know what I mean? You may have dissenting opinions, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this is a collective, and we want to make our voices heard. But shout out to everybody that's been rocking with the channel, you know what I mean, and helping us get up to. I think we need another goal, y'all, because we had 60,000. We had a goal to get 100,000. We had 114,000 now, so we need a goal of 120,000 subscribers. That's what we need to do. So I'm thinking about going crazy and going live a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take one of these weeks and we just going to take probably like 4 days and we just going to rock out. You know what I mean? And break down a lot of news and entertainment and stuff that's going on. But shout out to everybody.